Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Kitchen, and today we're going to be talking about how to detect counterfeit money or counterfeit bills. I work at a financial institution, and it's something that we come in contact with quite a bit, and the majority of the time whenever we find one, the question that the person asks us is, well, how do you know? So, have you ever gone to a grocery store or something and cashier gives you change? They say, I want change for 100, they give you a $20 bill. So you got five $20 bills and one of them just looks funny. Have you ever had that where you thought, man, this just looks funny, it feels funny? Well, how do I know? Is this real or not? Well, today we're going to go over some of those things, and I'll show you how you can determine if your bill is real or not. Where do you get these bills? You can get them anywhere. You get them from your bank, sadly, very sadly. ATM, you can get them out of an ATM. Grocery store, cash handling, just, you do a transaction with somebody and they sell you a car, they sell you something, give you money, you can get it through there. Cashing your check someplace, in a financial institution, at a bank, any place where there's cash handling, you can come in contact with counterfeit bills. And the only thing that is going to save you is to always check your money. So we have several different types of bills that we come across. One of them is called a raised bill. Now, a raised bill, looking at it on the screen, or if you know what you're looking at, is an automatic thing, where what happens is the counterfeiters, they take a picture of one right here and they paste it onto what's really a $1 bill. And so a cashier might just be looking at the big numeral right here, and they're not even paying attention to the portrait or to where it's saying $1. So if you're just counting really fast, you're just looking at your 10 and you've got a counterfeit bill in your hand. You don't even realize it. And that is what we call a raised bill. Next, we have what's called a bleached bill. Now, bleached bills can be more tricky because they are actually real paper that the government used to make bills, and the portrait here is going to be correct and it's going to match what's up here. Now, how you're going to tell is you're going to actually hold it up in the light, and when you do, there is a watermark right here. That portrait right here should match the portrait here. And if it doesn't, you've got a bill. What happens is they bleach it and they print it over so that this is actually a picture of Andrew Jackson, so it's a $20 bill. They print it over with Benjamin Franklin. So you have a $20 bill that has been turned into a $100 bill. Now, you might have seen cashiers at times use a counterfeit detecting pen. These will only work on an actual type of paper that counterfeiters use, but on a bleached bill or on a raised bill, it will not work because it is actual government issued paper. So you have to be careful with that as well. And then we just have our plain old counterfeits. Now, these are fun to detect for me personally because the paper, you can feel it. It's thicker. Sometimes the ink will rub off, and there's also some other telltales. Right here, all the pictures on the right you're looking at are going to be a genuine bill, and on the left will be a counterfeit. Genuine bills are always very distinct in everything. They're clear, and you can tell it's like crisp. No matter how old the bill is, the picture will always be clear and crisp. Whereas a counterfeit is going to be kind of faded and kind of washed out. Also, on a genuine bill, right here on the ridges, you can feel those ridges with your fingernail. On a counterfeit bill, it's going to be flat and lifeless. So if you can't feel the ridges with your fingernail when you are checking a bill, you have a counterfeit. And also the paper stock. On a real bill, when you hold a real bill up to the light, you're going to see red and blue marks, and it's part of the paper. On a counterfeit bill, it'll look like ink spots where they've just taken a pen to it. So it's not going to be very clear. And then the same thing with the seals. The seals are very clear, whereas in a counterfeit, it's very faded or it's blurry. So those are your three main types of counterfeit bills. So you think that now you found one, and what are you going to do? So there's certain steps that you take once you've found a counterfeit bill. First and foremost, do not leave where you are at. If you have cashed a check from your bank and they've given you cash, or you've withdrawn money and you've checked your bills right there in front of them, it's very important that you do so. Because if you walk out the building with that counterfeit bill and you come back, the bank will not take it back. They will not, it doesn't matter. Because they cannot prove that you haven't left the building, swapped it out, and come back. They can't prove it. So you always, always check your money in front of everybody that you get money from. So they cannot say, you switched that out. So never leave. In front of the ATM, I do it right in front of the ATM, the camera right there, I turn my money right there. And if there's a counterfeit, I go inside. It has happened to me. So now, after that, you're gonna follow the steps given by the Secret Service. Now would be more along the lines of, you were given money, say by a person directly, not necessarily through a bank or through a financial institution. The steps given by the Secret Service is do not return it to the passer. The reason for this is you want to get it out of circulation. We don't want, you're going to give back, well, I think this is a counterfeit bill. Well, he's just going to go give it to somebody else who might not know. So we want to take these bills out of circulation. You don't want them being passed around. Next, you're going to delay the passer if possible. So this person, say, for example, you've sold them a car and they've given you $1,000 in cash. And you just realize this guy gave me $1,000 in counterfeit bills. Okay, you're not going to want to go take your car, so you're going to delay, make small talk, whatever. Because what you want to do is you want to observe his description. You're going to want to see if he's got any companions with him, and you're going to want to get license plates, vehicle, numbers, such as that. Anything that you can do, because more than likely, if you've received a lot of money in counterfeit bills, he's probably making them, or he has a source of somebody who is making them. You're going to want to contact the police department, of course, discreetly, without him knowing. Okay, you're going to write your initials and the dates in the white borders area of the suspect note. The reason for this is because they will definitely know that you were the one who did that, and you want the date as well. And you're going to want to limit your handling of the note. Again, as I said, with counterfeit notes, the ink can rub off. So you don't want to be holding it, you don't want that on your hands. And definitely don't want your thumbprints and your fingerprints all over bills. So you're going to want to put it in an envelope or something like that to protect it. And then, of course, you're going to give it to the police when they come. Or, if you're lucky enough, an actual Secret Service agent. Now, the thing why I believe it's also very important to know your counterfeit money as well is because I can give so many stories of things I've encountered. But one in particular, which I thought was very interesting, was one time customer came in and he said, you gave us this bill, or gave me this bill. And I'm looking at it, before you even gave it to me, I'm looking at it and I'm like, there's no way I gave you that bill. But we have to follow our procedures. Ended up calling the police. And the police officer himself came in and he was like, how do you know that this is a counterfeit? He had no idea how to know it was a counterfeit bill. So, and a lot of ATM tellers or bank tellers and such don't know as well. So it's a very important thing to know and to learn how to detect counterfeit money, because if it's out there, then and it's in your hands and you've just lost out on your money. And lastly, you're going to fill out the counterfeit note report, which you can find on the Treasury website, which usually the police will have you fill that out and send it in. So now that we've discussed what types of counterfeit bills are, you know how to check, and always check no matter where you are.